what we're going to do is do some markings here. So what are we here for today? We're just, since John has had several procedures, we're going to do a little balancing with the skin. Sometimes the skin can stretch, so we're going to do a little tightening of that. Take some Lido. So the next step is to make sure we're numb. So John, you tell me, well, you're not going to tell that Home Depot story now, are you?
No,
Oh, okay, all right.
I can't agree with you.
It's a Home Depot story.
We had a little Home Depot discussion.
Yeah.
About John, we were talking about people like doing this in their garage, you know.
Oh,
Some people do this stuff, you know. Like they take illicit meds, and
Yep.
you know that.
Yep,
you know
yep,
that.
yep.
And they'll go to Home Depot and like pick out something that says whatever chemicals on it and inject it in people's behinds and everywhere
Yep.
else for that matter. You know. That's why I said to John, I said, we ran out of medicine, I gotta go to Home Depot, he told me.
I wanted to put a picture up where it's got silicone thing like a big 55-gallon drum.
Oh,
Here's my refill.
Okay. They could probably fit a couple of gallons, I bet.
So what, John, how many procedures have you had?
28.
No doubt. I've had,
I think 5.
let's see, did the shaft and gland, so I make 4 times.
Okay. Over how long?
Man.
It's been over like, what, 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah, I think it's like 2 years.
Okay.
So in between, so actually, I think I've done 6 with actually the gland.
Oh, really?
See, it doesn't do much with that.
It's tough. It's a tight
Yeah,
space.
which I know, he talks about. Dr. Loria
Yeah.
talks about that, and, which mine is hardly any gains there.
Well, what I'm hoping is that, I'm looking at some doctors doing the glands in a different way, where they inject in the glands. Now, the reason why I don't like injecting inside the glands as opposed to the skin itself is I don't want it to go beyond, migrate anyway, basically, that's the bottom line. So, I'm waiting for these doctors to provide some data to see if it's safe, So if they say, hey, we had 500 patients and there was no problems, no side effects or whatever, then I'll do it to my patients and offer that. So then we could now not only inject in the skin itself, but also under it. I'm just concerned about safety.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hopefully know by year end, and then we'll have a better treatment for the glands. The glands treatment is okay, not the greatest, but it still increases the girth usually by 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 each time. But the shaft just balloons out. It's no problem with the shaft.
So as far as condoms, you using condoms? No, can't.
Man, I was trying. They don't put sizes on the stuff.
Right, you
Well,
can't.
because I got something like too small.
That's right. They're all
I'm
too
like,
small.
dang. I had to buy different boxes
Even
to
magnums.
try.
You can't do magnums.
Condoms. Oh, we have a source for condoms. For the big fellas, Did you go to My Size?
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
No, I
You
didn't.
have to go to Condom Depot, and there's a subdivision of all these products. They have pretty decent sizes, actually. So you'll get one that'll fit you. Otherwise, forget the Magnum. That's like for a small fella.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really. The Magnum is nothing.
So I like to use, like, for extra firmness, a ring.
Oh, yeah.
At the base, it pinches off, right? And it makes me really hard. The problem is, I'm almost too big for the biggest ring. So I'm like, wait a minute, what am I going to do the next time?
Right.
So I'm looking at other ways that I can make it firmer when I have intercourse.
Did we introduce you to our little crowd here? We introduced you yet?
I
Dr.
think so.
Belgobin is
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Dr. Belgobin from Minnesota, soon Dallas, and so forth.
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Let's say Dallas. So he'll be practicing there, doing male enhancement, but his expertise at this point is doing liposuction, fat transfer type of procedures, like BBL for the woman, and it's working out well. But he's going to move into the male enhancement space.
Yeah, this fascinates me.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be good.
personally, for me, it's confidence, right? And so, talking to a lot of guys, what do they think about all the time? It's their hair and their penis. Yeah, their testosterone too, but you can manage that. But their penis, like, what can I do? And they'll tell you, like, stories of how they've lost relationships and marriages because of size, which it's so like in their head. And it boggles my mind. I'm married, right? So I haven't been through that. But as a guy who's maybe dating or whatever, I can understand what they may go through when women have a preconceived notion of what a man should be. Especially as a black man, I see a lot of black men, and they're like, a lot of them want to be longer. And
Hey, John, you used to be black, huh?
you're officially black.
I have a great friend of mine, but he don't know what I've done. He's like,
Oh.
a great friend of mine. I always talk about the size.
Yeah.
So we always thought we're brothers. So
Yeah. You're a black man.
You gotta have some fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
You go to the gym, in the locker room, you guys are looking like, wait a minute.
That's right. Don't be
That's
hating.
right.
May not have the biggest muscles, but hey, the biggest thing here.
Oh,
Like, screw the gym. I'm going where he's going.
he needs it. Yeah. You gotta have the muscles in the right place. Bottom line.
That's the thing about this. People think it's just oil, right, in their head. But when you dissect it out, you don't really see the oil. What you're seeing is the collagen formation. And that's what really brought me on board, is because there's all this misconception about silicone, right? You hear from the media, you hear from bad stories of where they actually go to Home Depot and inject themselves. But again, this is medical grade, formulated by this guy. And it's amazing when I see the collagen that's created from this formula. Like, this is your tissue.
This is it. Right. This is the proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're going to get collagen production like this just through an oil. You have to prepare it properly. It has to be in an emulsion, a certain formula, a combination. So that's how it works.
So I started doing this for women in their butts,
Yeah.
like in the hips and buttocks. I do a lot of fat transfers, and some women have little dimples and irregularities. So now I'm offering this for women in certain areas, and it's amazing the results. And they said it feels so natural, and so I'm taking this now to a new indication for women.
Just a fat transfer. I looked at this long time ago, which, guys, they're doing the same thing, but you lose that. Like
Yeah.
you would.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's the same thing. He doesn't have bubble butt stuff like that. I would have lost it, but it was a lot of fat there. There was.
My recommendation?
I am going to recommend.
Oh, you're gonna
with my experience, any guys that want to do this in the future, don't go over 7.
Don't go over 7.
Don't go over 7. I want to go over 7.
Yeah, I usually recommend a range of 6.5 to 7.5. It
Yeah.
depends on the person. Like if they're married and the
Exactly.
vaginal space is large.
Correct.
My brother had to go to 8. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Right.
So, because baby's down the chute there.
Right. In general, I probably would keep it around 7. Like I'm 7.5. I think it kind of goes between 7. Well, I'm pushing 8 actually. So maybe 7.75. So I'm single, so it's a little different my situation. Several, I couldn't enter one. The other one, it takes time.
It does, yeah.
It takes quite a few times to try that. Even though everything's lubed, did my job, and
Exactly.
all that, it still is hard.
Like I said, I'm married, right?
Yeah.
And so the first time, it took us some time,
Yeah.
which we're not used to.
Right.
And for me, I'm like, yeah. And she's like frustrated because she's like,
Right.
I can't even.
Right.
Yeah, just gotta be careful.
So men, don't think bigger is better. We all think, yeah, it's big. It's not really the right way to go.
Yeah.
You want to be pleasurable for them too.
Yeah, exactly. Like I told you, that last guy that came in for a consult, I'm like, what's your reason? He's like, I just want to do it. Like, there was nothing that.
Right. There's others I go back now because my original I was 5.5, and I'm probably the same way with my ex-wife, where I felt like I wasn't quite big enough.
Yeah.
Even though everything's supposed for her and all that.
Yeah.
But I always had that thing
Yep.
where I wanted to be a little bigger.
Yeah, the guy I talked to yesterday, it's, he and I kind of started on the same, we're about 5.25 to start. And once you get your procedure done, your wives always say, oh, you're fine, don't worry about it. But then you get it done and you have sex, they're like, whoa,
Well, filler. Thank
they're
you very
fine with it.
much.
Right.
And then you say, hey, I might want to get a little bit more. Then they don't really complain as much. It's interesting because it's like a different mindset for them. I think wives are so good at accommodating
Right.
that they really don't know. And then when you take it to another level, they're like, whoa, this is different.
Right.
And even the way you can tell through your wife and the way she reacts, like her body, her sounds,
Right.
very different.
Yeah.
Very different intercourse. She's able to climax quicker. She's maybe orgasming more. It's insane. And for a married man, that's kind of where you want to be at, right in your head with her. And she wants to be with you.
Right.
I was telling them yesterday, and we were just laughing because, you know, when you lay in bed, her hand starts gravitating towards you.
So it's a lot more now.
She just wants to be closer to you.
Right,
It's just so interesting.
Right.
The
Did I miss
dynamic.
something here? I mean, what's going on?
No, I'm just saying how your wife tends to want to gravitate towards you more. Her hand starts approaching you more now, lower down when you're sleeping. Like, are you awake? You know, like, and I was talking to the guy yesterday about it. The same thing. He's been married like 25 years. I'm 23, my years. And the way your wives kind of perceive it is like a new toy for them.
Exactly what it is.
It's funny too. Like women know you have a big dick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-oh.
I have one because my pants. I didn't mean to bring them because I know the way it would show.
Yep.
And I'm a little self-conscious about it, which I'm not trying to show it off. Now with somebody, when take
Yeah.
photos, that's all good. But I don't need everybody else or her friends. You know, where they cause a problem. So I
yeah.
try to watch that.
Girlfriends.
But it's funny as the girl, we went quite a few times, and I told her, "Some man, I got to just tell you, does this look where you can see my dick too bad?" And she goes, "I didn't even notice." Really, she looks, she's got. At the end of the night, she's steady grabbing my shit because we haven't done anything yet at this point. You know, we haven't had no respect. But yeah, once it did that, and night, she's
setting up the moves.
She really wanted it then. She wanted to see it.
Oh.
But how was the fit in that one? Did it fit okay?
That was the one I took the last time. I could not do it.
Couldn't get in?
Couldn't get in there.
Wow.
Did you
Maybe
use
one
oil?
she
Use
had
lubrication?
kids. Yes, did all that stuff. It's like could not get in there,
Really?
and that was part of where the skin really bunched up.
But you're able to get in a little, but not all the way.
Correct. I can get the, of course, I can get the head in a
Uh-huh.
little bit. Could not get in there, and I actually wonder if she had something done. She was actually older than mine.
Oh, she might have had some
Vaginal tightening.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Shit. Now this last girl laid down the same way, but we were able to get it eventually. Get in there.
Yeah. So this girl's out.
Yeah. Time to move on. Can't do anything.
Gross sex.
Oh.
Right. But I really wonder if she had something done.
She could have a vaginal
yeah.
widening.
She didn't.
But
Yeah.
hey,
I was messing with her. I could hold that open for me.
let's get the retractors.
True story. I didn't say
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
No, bro, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
my wife literally does this.
Oh, really? Just
Yes,
to help.
just to help.
Uh-huh. Wow, how about that?
I'm not lying to you.
Wow.
I believe you. We tried to. It still didn't work. Just so you know, it didn't work.